Tonight on Connecticut's news station, it's down to the last few hours of travel for the Christmas holiday weekend. We're checking conditions on the roads and the crowds and giving you a few tips and reminders for getting there safely.
We're now learning the name of the man killed during an officer-involved shooting in Stonington. While details are still limited about what happened, we'll bring you what we know so far.
And the state's plan to tackle wrong-way driving in action tonight. We'll show you a wrong-way detection system turning a driver around before anyone could get hurt.
Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And we begin tonight on the roads as hundreds of thousands of people make their way across the state during this Christmas weekend. Here's a live look at I-91 in Rocky Hill tonight. Thanks for joining us for the news at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Whether you're traveling by plane, train, or automobile, you'll be joining millions of Americans who are also trying to make it home for the holidays.
Yeah, that means don't be surprised if you get stuck in traffic. Fox 61's Jake Garcia is live now up on the Fox 61 Sky Deck with how you can travel safe this weekend. Jake?
Well, Brent and Sarah, the hustle and bustle of the holiday travel season is in full swing, and as you can see behind me, traffic has been moving along through downtown Hartford very smoothly for much of the day. And no matter how you travel over the holidays, you can expect to be greeted by crowds no matter how you travel.
You know, we want to see people traveling. It's been a very busy year for travel, and you know, people are heading off to see family and friends, and it's what this year is all about. This time of year is all about.
With the holidays upon us, 115 million Americans are expected to travel between now and New Year's Day, according to AAA. Airports in Connecticut and across the country are preparing for their busiest holidays in years, expecting to surpass the 2019 record of more than 7 million passengers nationwide. Bradley International Airport is well prepared for the holiday rush.
Things have been going very smoothly. Yesterday was busy, today was very busy, and tomorrow is expected to be busy as people head off to those Christmas destinations.
A dramatic difference from a year ago when winter storms and a software outage left 2 million passengers stranded over the holidays. Which is why U.S. Senator Richard Blumenthal is urging Congress to pass what he is calling the Airline Passenger Bill of Rights, which would compensate passengers for delays, cancellations, oversold flights, and lost baggage.
The costs of alternative travel, of overnight stays, of food and other expenses should be compensated fully, no questions asked.
And if you plan to pack those Christmas gifts, TSA has some reminders.
That if those items in their carry-on or their checked bag set off any of the machines, they may have to inspect them, and that means unwrap them. So the recommendation is for people to possibly hold off on wrapping those gifts until they get to their destination.
While airports will be busy, 90% of travelers are expected to drive to their destination this holiday season. Safety experts recommend taking every precaution while on the roads, like wearing a seatbelt, avoiding distractions while driving, and driving sober. Experts also urge travelers to avoid aggressive driving and speeding. An estimated 4 million Americans are expected to travel by train or bus, which is the highest number since 2019. And AAA projects that the most congestion on the roads will be tomorrow and on Thursday, December 28th. Now, experts recommend to avoid that congestion, to leave early in the morning rather than in the afternoon. And the Connecticut Department of Transportation is urging drivers to check ctroads.org to check the latest road closures and delays on roads across the state. Now, if you're flying, airport officials remind you to check in with your airline for the status of your flight before you go to the airport. Live in Hartford, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, good advice there, Jake. Thank you. We are following breaking news now out of Bristol, where police say a person was killed in a two-car crash. It happened just after 4:30 this afternoon on Wolcott Road. One driver heading southbound crossed the double yellow line. That driver died at the scene. The other driver was rushed to a hospital, and that driver's condition is not clear as of this hour. Wolcott Road remains closed north of Old Wolcott Road as police continue to investigate that accident. Turning to the forecast now, we're in for a warm stretch to start off the winter.
Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Rachel, it's looking like an extra green Christmas this year.
Green, maybe a little bit of brown out there with some leftover mud from our last rainstorm. Yeah, it felt like winter for all of, let's say, 24 hours or so. And now we're going to see temperatures warming up in the days ahead. Not that it'll be, sunbathing weather, but definitely above average for this time of year. Right now, we're looking at temperatures in the low to mid 20s. You might be thinking, uh-oh, if we're already in the low to mid 20s, how cold is it going to get when we wake up tomorrow morning? But temperatures will kind of level out overnight. They aren't going to do the deep plunge like they did last night. Still, it's a chilly start to the day tomorrow. You'll see this rain here around the Midwest, and that'll be heading in our direction, heading into later Saturday night into Sunday. But most of that disturbance ends up missing us and kind of fizzling out. So while there could be a sprinkle or maybe a flurry in spots, we're not anticipating any significant impact out of that. So low temperatures tonight. Again, you can kind of see here hour after hour, we see a little fluctuation, but not a big plunge. So we're in the 20s, upper teens for some as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. We'll see some morning sunshine, and then we'll mix in more clouds as we head through the midday and into the afternoon. High temperatures will climb into the low 40s, and we'll see a lot of clouds as we head into Saturday night and especially Sunday, along with that chance for a sprinkle or light shower. We'll talk more about that and the warmer weather for Christmas Day coming up.
Rachel, thanks. We have new details to bring you out of Stoning tonight, where a man is dead, and so is a Connecticut State Police canine officer. It happened after state troopers surrounded a home on Mechanic Street to arrest that man, a suspect in a felony, yesterday evening.
Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc has the latest and how the law enforcement community is coming together to remember a fallen officer.
This is State Police with a warrant. Come to the front door.
These scary moments startling neighbors on Mechanic Street in the Pawcatuck section of Stonington around 7:30 Thursday night.
Your hands up and nothing in your hands.
Connecticut State Police were responding to this home, serving an arrest warrant issued by Norwich Police. Troopers could be heard asking for a man named Vaughn Malloy to step out of the home.
I was in my kitchen and we kept hearing muffled pops. And I said, "Did you hear that?" So I went outside to go look, and that's when I was surprised to see all of this activity out here.
Maria Torella watched as armed troopers tried to stop their suspect. She says at one point she saw a man leave the house and make a run for it.
As he's coming out and trying to run, the canine chased him.
And while it's unclear what happened next, it is clear shots were fired.
I saw them firing at the man.
Ending in the death of Malloy and Canine Brocco.
Oh, that one hurt. That hurt so bad.
On Friday morning, in a final goodbye, police from across the state saluted the 2-year veteran of the department from Piper Veterinary in Middletown. Thursday night, another procession for Canine Brocco. Connecticut State Police say he and his handler were assigned to Troop A in Southbury, most recently working with the State Police Canine Unit. They say, quote, Canine Brocco heroically served with unwavering dedication, saving lives by locating missing individuals, apprehending dangerous suspects, and providing a steadfast shield to his handler. Canine Brocco ultimately sacrificed his life, doing what he was known best for.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's shocking. If that was my dog, I would be upset.
All as neighbors, adults and kids try to process what they witnessed.
I saw pretty much everything. They had blocked the whole road off, and I heard them on the microphone. So I was standing in the hallway looking at it. It was scary in the moment.
Now, we did reach out to Norwich Police to try to get more information on the arrest warrant, but we have not heard back. In the meantime, as with any shooting involving an officer, the Office of Inspector General is taking over this case. We are in the Pawcatuck section of Stonington. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Developing in the Brass City tonight, police say they're opening a homicide investigation looking into the death of a man early this morning. Waterbury police say they were called to First Avenue. They found a man unresponsive on the street. He was pronounced dead on the scene, and police originally called this an untimely death. But this afternoon, it was raised to a homicide. The man has not been identified. They're asking anyone with information to give them a call.
Also in Waterbury tonight, police have made an arrest in connection to a homicide from earlier this week. Jeremy Rivera now faces charges in the death of Jordan Robinson, who was shot and killed on Kenyon Street Monday. Rivera is being held on $3 million bond. Police expect to make more arrests in the case. And with wrong-way drivers still posing a major threat on our state's roads, lawmakers in the Department of Transportation have been working to install detection systems that have the potential to save lives. Well, now new video has been released showing a wrong-way detection system in action. This is exit 2A on I-691 eastbound in Meriden. You can see a driver traveling in the wrong lane and red lights going off to let them know they've made a mistake, and thankfully, they quickly turn around. The DOT says they will continue installing these systems across the state. Looks like they work.